Bugungi darsimizda Cambridge 13 Test 1 Section 3 analizini davom ettiramiz. 21-25gacha Section 3 o'qishimizda 21-25gacha bizda multiple choice savollari berilgan ekan. O'qishimiz, tushunishimiz va davom etishimiz kerak bo'ladi. Why is Jack interested in investigating seed germination? Nimaga seed germinationni investigate qilishda, research qilishda, o'rganishda Jackning qiziqishi bor? He may do a module on related topic. Module qilishi mumkin ekan shu topikda. Career kerak ekan plant science-da choosing topic for dissertation. Shu topikni dissertatsiyasi uchun topmoqchi ekan, choose qilmoqchi ekan. Jack and Emma agree. Bizga agree degan so'z kerak, chunki ikkalasi ham agree bo'lishi kerak. Main advantage of the present experiment is that described very easily. Oson. Carried out inside laboratory completed in time available. Available time da tugatilgan. What do they decide to check with their tutor? Aim is appropriate. Anyone else chose topic? Anyone else? Assignment contributes to their final grade. They agree that Graves' book on seed germination disappointing because agree bo'lish kerak, disappointing nega. Topamiz uni. It fails to cover recent advances. O'zim ko'rganlarda keywordlarni belgilab, eng muhimlarini circle qilib, aylanaga olib, ikkinchi darajali muhimliklarni tekka chizib boryapman. O'sha narsalarni o'qib, o'rganib, tarjima qilishingiz kerak bo'ladi agar yaxshi natijaga erishmoqchi bo'lsanglar. Agar yaxshi natijaga erishmoqchi bo'lmasanglar, 5 hamda qotib qolmoqchi bo'lsanglar, prosta ko'rib ketinglar. Mana irrelevant degan so'z kelishingiz kerak. Fail to do something kerak. Juda ham yaxshi struktura. Speakingda ishlatsanglar bo'ladi, writingda qilsanglar bo'ladi. Juda ham kerakli narsalarda. What does Jack say about the article on seed germination by Lee Hall? Jack nima der ekan? Diagram of plant development are useful. Diagram useful bo'lgan ekan. Analysis of statistics is thorough bo'lgan ekan. Analysis thorough bo'lgan ekan. Findings are surprising ekan. Endi ko'ramiz. Nima bo'lar ekan? Samarsam belgiladim. Keraklarni oldim o'zimga. Endi boshlayveraman. Okay. Let's go.
Section 2, Section 3.
Ketdik.
You will hear two biology students called Emma and Jack discussing an experiment they are going to do together. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25.
We don't have time.
Carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
We've got to choose a topic for our experiment, haven't we, Jack? Were you thinking of something to do with seeds?
That's right. I thought we could look at seed germination, how a seed begins to grow.
Okay. Any particular reason? I know you're hoping to work in plant science eventually.
Yeah, but practically everything we do is going to feed into that. No, there's an optional module on seed structure and function in the third year that I might do. So I thought it might be useful for that. If I choose that option, I don't have to do a dissertation module.
Good idea.
Xo'p, nimaga tanlading? Any particular reason for that dedi. Bilaman, karyera qilmoqchisan plant science dedi. Yo'q, unga uchun emas. Men hamma qiladigan ishimiz plant science ga kirib ketib qoladi dedi. Module bor edi. Seed structure haqida module bor. O'sha module qilsam, dissertation yozishimga, dissertation module qilishimga hojat bo'lmaydi. O'sha uchun tanlamayman dedi. Yaxshi ideya dedi. O'sha uchun ham bo'ladi javob. Endi o'qib olishimiz kerak. Any particular reason? Mana sabab bormi bunga? I know you are hoping to work in plant science eventually. Yeah, but particularly everything we're doing bu hamma narsa kirib ketadi. O'sha uchun bu emas. Chiqib ketdi. B. Now there is an optional module on seed structure and function in the third year. I might do, so it might be useful for that. If I choose that option, I don't have to do dissertation module. Dissertation module kerak emas bo'lmaydi. B bilan C chiqib ketgani sababli A bo'ldi javob.
Well, I thought for this experiment we could look at the relationship between seed size and the way the seeds are planted. So we could plant different sized seeds in different ways and see which grow best.
Okay. We'd need to allow time for the seeds to come up.
That should be fine if we start now. A lot of the other possible experiments need quite a bit longer.
choose. And I don't suppose it'd need much equipment. We're not doing chemical analysis or anything. Though that's not really an issue. We've got plenty of equipment in the laboratory.
Yeah, we need to have a word with the tutor if we're going to go ahead.
Qisqasi, nima qilish kerak? Buni hozir boshlaydigan bo'lsak, yetadi, vaqtimiz yetadi. O'sha uchun ham yaxshi biz boshqa anondan eksperimentdan yaxshiroq-da. Laboratoriyada ham qilinmaydi-da. Lekin bu ham muammo emas. Biz laboratoriyada hamma narsa bor dedi. Very easily degan narsa yo'q. Xo'p. I thought for this experiment we could look at the relation between seed size and the way seeds are planted, so we could plant different size seeds and different. Okay, we need to allow time for seeds to come up. That should be fine if we start now. A lot of other possible experiments need quite a bit longer. O'z ko'rganda boshqa eksperimentlar ko'proq vaqt oladi. Oh, that would make it a good one to choose. Demak, o'qishda boshqalarga qaraganda yaxshiroqligini sababi kerakli vaqtda, ya'ni yetarlicha vaqt bor bu uchun. Shuning uchun ham buni C olamiz.
Head with it though. I'm sure our aim's okay. It's not very ambitious, but the assignment's only 10% of our final mark, isn't it? But we need to be sure we're the only ones doing it.
Yeah, it's only 5% actually. But it'd be a bit boring if everyone was doing it.
Did you read that?
O'z ko'rganingizdek, assignmentda o'sha tutor bilan bir necha narsani check qilishimiz kerak edi. Qisqasi, men bilaman, aimimiz normalniy dedi. To'g'ri keladi dedi. 10% xo'p, aimimiz normalniy dedi. Ambitious emas, lekin normalniy bo'ladi dedi. O'zimizni final scoreimizga 5-10% contribute qiladi dedi. Demak, contribute qiladimi yo'qmi, buni biliqlar aniqlash shart emas. Shuning uchun ham seni chiqarib tashladim. Lekin bu 5% edi, lekin boshqa odamlar tanlab qo'ygan bo'lsa, boring bo'ladi. O'sha uchun ham realni check qilishimiz kerak. Boshqa odamlar oldimi o'sha narsani yo'qmi? Boshqa odamlar, boshqa o'quvchilar shuni tanlaganmi yo'qmi? Shuning uchun ham B bo'ldi bu. O'qish kerak. We need to have a word with the tutor if we are going to go ahead with it. I'm sure our aim is okay. Demak, bizning aim okay, shuning uchun ham chiqib ketdi. It's not very ambitious, but the assignment only 10% or final. Is it okay? Isn't it? But we need to be sure we are only ones doing it. Mana shu javob bo'ladi. Faqatgina biz o'zimiz qilayotganimizga sure bo'lishimiz kerak edi-da. O'sha uchun ham mana bu A ham chiqib ketdi appropriate, assignment ham chiqib ketdi, B bo'ldi.
A book on seed germination on our reading list.
The one by Graves. I looked through it for my last experiment, though it wasn't all that relevant there. It would be for this experiment, though. I found it quite hard to follow. Lots about the theory, which I hadn't expected.
Yes, I'd been hoping for something more practical. It does include references to the recent findings on genetically modified seeds, though.
Yes, that was interesting.
Yes, it was interesting. O'z ko'rganingizdek, Grave'ni book dedi, agree qildi ikkalasi. Men agree qildi, men Emma dedi, relevant dedi, lekin hozirgisi uchun relevant dedi. O'sha uchun ham B chiqib ketadi. Juda ham serikatga bor ekan. Ana aytdi, Jim aytdi, Jack aytdi, men ham bir qanaqadir practitioner narsa kutganim dedi. Shu uchun ham C bo'ldi. Lekin bu recent findingslarni o'ziga cover qiladi dedi. O'sha uchun ham A chiqib ketdi. O'qiymiz endi mana. Did you read it only by Graves? I looked through it for my last experiment, so it wasn't all that relevant there. It would be for this experiment. Bu experiment uchun relevant bo'ladi. Demak, chiqib ketadi. I found it quite hard to follow. Lots about theory which I hadn't expected. Bu C-ni anaqa beradi. Yeah, I would hope for something more practical. Demak, bu ham rozi bo'ldi. Men practitioner narsa xohlaganim. Shuning uchun ham C bo'ladi. It does include reference to the recent findings on genetically modified seeds. So, demak, men bu A ni o'ziga cover qiladi dedi. Fail to cover demadi, fail cover qiladi dedi. Shuning uchun ham A chiqib ketdi. Javob C bo'ladi. Detallarga men bilmayman. Qisqasi, men bilib o'tirman. O'qinglar qisqasi, ana shu yozib qo'yilgan kamarasi. Men uyda o'tirishim kerak, yarimta narsani. Zerikib ketdim.
I read an article about seed germination by Lee Hall.
About seeds that lie in the ground for ages and only germinate after a fire.
That's the one. I knew a bit about it already, but not about this research. His analysis of figures comparing the times of the fires and the proportion of seeds that germinated was done in a lot of detail. Very impressive.
Was that the article with the illustrations of early stages of plant development? They were very clear.
I think those diagrams were in another article.
Xo'p, nima bo'ldi? Lee Hall bilan ko'rdim dedi. after firedan keyin chiqadiganmi dedi. Ha, buni bilardim dedi. Demak, bu surprising bo'lmas ekan, chunki oldin bilgan. Lekin detalni berganda o'sha analiz dedi. O'sha uchun very impressed bo'ldim dedi. Aytdi keyin ana Emma aytdi. Diagramma aytsanmi, diagramma ko'rsatgan dedi. Yo'q, bu diagramma boshqasida berilgan dedi. O'sha uchun ham chiqib ketdi. O'qib olasiz. Men o'zbekchasini ozgina tushuntirdim nima bo'lganini. Mana about its lie in the ground for ages and all generate after fire. Yeah, that's the one. I knew a bit about it already, not about the research. Demak, bilganda, lekin bu aynan research haqida emas. His analysis of figures of comparing the times of fires and the proportion of seeds that germinate was done in a lot of detailed way. It was very impressive. Shuning uchun ham javobni B oldik. Diagram illustration of all the stage of plans that were very clear. This were another article. Boshqa artikel bo'lganligi uchun ham A'ni chiqarib yubordik. Qisqasi, javoblarni yana tushunmoqchi bo'lsanglar, hamma narsani o'qishing kerak, tarjima qilishing kerak, analiz qilishing kerak bo'ldi. Bu qismni o'zim tushuntirdim hammasini. 2 minut bo'lib ketdi. Xo'p, davom etamiz endi. Matching bo'larkanda 6 stages in the experiment, select seeds of different and size. Nima bo'lishi mumkin? Seedlarni turli xil size bilan turli xil nimani olish kerak? Type bo'lishi mumkin, weight bo'lishi mumkin, weight bo'lishi bo'lmaydi. Height bo'lishi mumkin. Hammasi bo'lishi mumkin. Qisqasi, measure and record the and size of each one. Size bilan yana nimasidir rekord qilish kerak. Decide on the something used. Nimadir decide qilish kerak. Decision use different for each seed and label it. Nimadir ishlash kerak har bitta seed uchun. After 3 weeks record the plant something. Nimadir aniq qilish kerak. Investigate finance. Bo'ldi, muhim emas qolganlari. Demak, mana shuni boshlaymiz.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30.
Thank you. Oh, good, cool. O'qib olinglar qisqasi. O'qib olinglar, tarjima qilib olinglar. Container bilishdan kerak, savol degan so'zni bilishdan kerak, depth degan so'zlarni bilishdan kerak, ya'ni to'g'risi. Agar bilmasanglar, uxlaysizlar, tamom. Uxlaysizlar. Uxlash qolaysizlarmi? Uxlash qolamaysizlar. Shuning uchun qilinglar shu ishni. Tarjima qilib olinglar, baraka topkurlar.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Anyway, shall we have a look at the procedure for our experiment? We'll need to get going with it quite soon.
Right. So the first thing we have to do is find our seeds. I think vegetable seeds would be best, and obviously they mustn't all be the same size. So how many sorts do we need? About 4 different ones?
I think that would be enough. There'll be quite a large number of seeds for each one.
Then for each seed...
How many sorts do we need dedi? Sort degani o'ta type ga to'g'ri keldi shekilli, shuning uchun ham G ni olaman men. How many sorts do we need? Size bo'lmasa kerak edi qisqasi. O'qiymiz. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is find our seeds. I think vegetable seeds would be best. Obviously, mana vegetable type ni aytayapti, vegetable type. Obviously, they mustn't be all the same size. Size bo'lmasa, bitta size bo'lmasa kerak. So how many sorts do we need? About 4 different ones mana. Qisqasi, how many sorts deganda sortni sinonim type bo'ladi. Shuning uchun ham G ni oldim.
We need to find out how much it weighs.
To'xtang. How much it weighs? Javobni aytib qo'ydi. How much is weighs dedi? Javob weight bo'ladi, C bo'ladi.
And also measure its dimensions.
O'zingiz ko'rganingizdek, qisqasi how much it weighs dedi, measure its dimensions dedi. Javob C bo'ladi. Javob bo'ladi. I think that would be enough. There would be quite large number of seeds for each one. Then for each seed we need to find out how much it weighs. Weight bo'ladi, shuning uchun ham C chiqib ketdi. And also measure its dimensions. We need to keep careful record of that. Dimension o'ta size sinonim bo'lgan. Yana bitta narsani tushuntirmoqchi edim. Aytdi select seeds of different and something turibdi-ku, mana size turganligi uchun ham o'ta and faqatgina plural bo'ladigan nounlarni bog'laydi. Doim bu grammatik sizlarga dars bo'lib qolsin. Masalan, and bo'lganda bir tomoni qanaqa bo'ladigan bo'lsa, xuddi shunaqa bo'ladi. Mana size turganda bizda ikkita variant bor. Types turuvdi, depth turuvdi. Demak, type dedi, source dedi, o'sha uchun ham typesni oldik. Mana bular bo'lmasdi. Bizda ikkita variant bor edi. To'g'risi, bizda 8 emas, ikkita variant bor edi. O'shanga ham e'tibor beringlar. Bunga e'tibor berish sizlarga realni ko'p yordam beradi keyingi listeninglaringda.
We need to keep a careful record of all that.
That'll be quite time consuming. And we also need to decide how deep we're going to plant the seeds.
Decide on the deeps to be used. How deep dedi. So H bo'ladi javob. That will be quite time consuming, and also we need to decide how deep we are going to plant the seeds. Mana qancha deep depths da, qancha chuqurlikda aniq qilishimiz kerak. Right on the surface, a few millimeters down or several centimeters. So that's deep bo'ladi javob. Depths.
Right on the surface, a few millimeters down, or several centimeters.
Okay, so then we get planting. Do you think we can plant several seeds together in the same plant pot?
No, I think we need a different one for each seed.
Right.
Bir xil potda, bitta to'yda aniq qilsak bo'ladimi? Ham 3-4tasini dedi. Yo, biza different one kerak, bizaga different pot kerak for each seed dedi. Label qilasan dedi. Deydi hozir potni sinonim topishimiz kerak. Konteyner bo'ladi-da. Qisqasi konteynerga har bittasini alohida konteynerga tiqib qo'y dedi.
And we'll need to label them.
And we'll need to label them dedi. Shu javob bo'ladi. So okay, we get planting. Then we get planting. Hali birinchi qism tugatganmi 18 minut 17 minut bo'lib ketdi. Crazy. Nima qilish kerak a? Ko'payib ketyapti. So we get planting dedi. Do you think we can plant several seeds together in the same pot dedi? I think we need different one for each seed dedi. Bitta to'yda bitta konteynerda qoraylik dedi. Yo'q, qilsak bo'ladimi? Yo'q, biz har bittasiga alohida kerak bo'ladi bizga dedi. Shu javob.
We can use different colored labels. Then we wait for the seeds to germinate. I reckon that'll be about 3 weeks, depending on what the weather's like. Then we see if our plants have come up and write down how tall they've grown.
Then all we have to do is look.
Write down how tall they have grown dedi. O'sha uchun ham heightni olamiz. Uzunligini olamiz. Bo'ldi. Investigate finding deydi. Qisqasi bizga kerak emas bu ma'lumot. Right, we need to label them. We can use different colors. We have to wait. Reckon that will be about 3 weeks, depending on what the weather is like. Then we see our plants have come up and write down how tall they have grown. Qancha uzunlikka chiqqanligini yozib olish kerak bo'lar ekan. Eshitib oladi. Oxirigacha eshitdik, mayli. Hurmatini qilaylik, shundan ham.
Look at our numbers and see if there's any relation between them.
That's right.
That's right. Bo'ldi, tamom, tugadi. Shu bilan o'zlaring ko'rganingdek, shu bilan bu qism tugaydi. E'tiborli
That
bo'linglar.
is the end of section 3.
Shut up.
You now
Muhim emas, menga nima deyotganing muhim emas, qisqasi. Junka. Buncha ko'p gapiradi bular. Hozir bir davom etiraman hozir. Qisqasi nima bo'ldi? Nimaga e'tibor berish kerak bu qismda? O'zing ko'rganingdek, sinonimlarga e'tibor berish kerak. Sinonimlarni juda ham ko'p ishlatyapti. Mana 26 ta source dedi, 27 da nima dedi buni? How much it weighs dedi, masalan, yaqinida 28 da, how deep dedi, 29 da, pot dedi, 30 da, how tall dedi, o'shani qilib, agar sinonimlarni bilmasanglar, butun tekstni tushunmasanglar, track qilib ketmasanglar miyangda, baraka topmaysizlar ya'ni. To'g'risi, nima qilish kerak? O'qinglar, tarjima qilinglar, o'rganinglar, harakat qilinglar, yaxshiroq ishlashga, zo'rroq qilishga. Section 4 ga o'tamiz endi. Xo'p, section 4 da nima bor ekan? One word